Over the last decade, Pea Ridge and Prairie Grove firmly established themselves as two of the teams to beat in the 4A. Now, the Ridge is up to the 5A, but the battle of Blackhawks and Tigers continues. This time, it's non-conference action. Danny Absher and his longtime squad taking on Jeff Williams with his new squad. We'll pick things up in the third quarter. Prairie Grove rolling. Jackson Sorters takes the pass from Knox Laird, steps out of bounds, and now, well, the quarterback will get a chance to do it himself. Same drive, Knox Laird rolls to his right, looks downfield, no one quite there, gets a block from the receiver instead, takes the big hit, keeps hold of the football though, and that would lead to some good things for the Grove. Grant Cades punches it in, and that gives the Tigers a 21-14 lead in the third quarter, and they'd grow that right here. Laird again, you see Jackson Sorters waves his arm in the end zone, he gets it, tiptoes in the back, 28-14 Tigers. Third quarter, Pea Ridge looking to make a comeback. Trevor Blair back of the end zone makes the catch, and it makes it 28-20. That comeback would not end up completed though, as Prairie Grove holds off Pea Ridge 35-33. The Ridge is 0-3, while Prairie Grove jumps out to a 2-0 start.